NBA free agency is here, and it's here in full force. A lot of big moves happened between yesterday and when I'm recording this at 3:39 in the afternoon today. So let's get into them. There's so many of them. There'd be so many tabs that I had up here. I thought, let's just scroll through Shams and Woj's Twitters. They have details, at least most of them, so might as well. We'll start with Shams since he was on before Woj was. Woj was on, I think, ESPN special. So, start with Shams. First one, right as 6 o'clock hit, was Lonzo Ball has agreed to a 4-year, $85 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. Now, I'm not a big fan of Lonzo Ball, but I don't think that's a terrible contract. But I probably wouldn't have paid him that much. But the Bulls have money to spend, so get the best you can, I guess. Next one, Tim Hardaway Jr. agreed to a 4-year, $72 million deal to return to the Mavericks. Free agent Mike Conley Jr., I guess now he's going by, has agreed to a 3-year, $68 million deal to return to the Utah Jazz. It's good for the Jazz, I think. I don't know how old Mike Conley is, though. I don't know if that's a little too much for him for his age. But I still like him. He's a good player. Boban has agreed to a deal to re-sign with the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know if there's any details on that one. But regardless, going back to Dallas. And then big one here. Jimmy Butler, NBA All-Star Jimmy Butler, is expected to agree to a maximum contract extension with Miami Heat when the league year opens on August 6th, and follows up with Butler's max contract expected to be in the 4 years and in the excess of $184 million per cap experts. Now that's really good for the Heat. I like Jimmy Butler a lot, and he's done a lot for them. He got them to the finals a couple years ago in that bubble year, or a couple seasons ago, I should say. So that's good that they're keeping him. And then just details on Lonzo Ball. Bulls are sending Thomas Satoransky, Garrett Temple, and a second-round pick to New Orleans for Lonzo Ball in a sign and trade. And free agent forward JaMychal Green agreed to a 2-year, $17 million deal to return to the Denver Nuggets. And that deal includes a player option the second year. Strict free agent Jared Allen has agreed to a 5-year, $100 million deal to re-sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Is he that good? You get $20 million a year? 5 years? I don't know about that one. I know he's gotten better, but I don't know if he's worth $20 million a year. I guess Cleveland's gonna Cleveland. And here's the NBA salary cap for 21-22 season. Effective for August free agency. It's $112,414,000 for the cap, $136,606,000 for the tax line. Cap and tax for 2022-2023, $119,145,000, with a cap level about $4 million higher than the previous projections. Then back to the free agent signings. TJ McConnell has agreed to a 4-year, $35 million deal to return to Indiana. He's a scrappy player. That's probably a good deal for the Pacers. And Kyle Lowry signing with Miami Heat. That's a big get for them as well, to go with Jimmy Butler. That could work really well for them. I think they're both decent defenders, if I remember correctly. I know Butler is. I think Kyle Lowry is, if I remember correctly. That's a big selling point for him, I think. But that will work well for them. Free agent Doug McDermott has agreed to a 3-year, $42 million deal with the Spurs. Is he worth that much? Is he worth $14 million a year? Oh. Free agent Sterling Brown has agreed to a deal with the Dallas Mavericks. The guy that gotten beaten up twice. And I think he's the only guy that I hear about that gets beaten up. That's in the NBA. Oh, I guess you do you. Bobby Portis is re-signing with the Milwaukee Bucks with a 2-year, $9 million deal. That's really good for the Bucks. I like Bobby Portis. It's a good deal. Team-friendly deal. And Shams followed up with, after NBA championship, Portis' loyalty was with Milwaukee, and he cherished the organization's culture and winning environment. The Milwaukee community embraced him. Portis passed on more money in favor of the Bucks last summer, and this year he stuck with happiness and stability. And follows up again. Portis turned down potential deals from the Mavericks and Heat, sources said. After 6 NBA seasons, Portis has found a home, and he will play to repeat as a champion next season. Well, that's good for the Bucks. Sounds like it's good for Portis. Free agent Alex Len has agreed to a 2-year deal with the Sacramento Kings. I don't see any details on that one, but he's agreed to a deal with the Sacramento Kings. Free agent center Dwight Howard has agreed to return to Los Angeles Lakers. Why? I don't know. But he is. Well, there's a lot more deals for the Lakers that we'll see coming up. I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll get to that later. Free agent Nicholas Batum has agreed to a 2-year deal to return to Los Angeles Clippers. No details on the deal other than 2 years. No money numbers. Free agent swingman Reggie Bullock has agreed to a 3-year, $30.5 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Free agent PJ Tucker has agreed to a deal with the Heat, and follows up with PJ Tucker signing a 2-year, $15 million deal with Miami. It includes a player option in year 2. Restricted free agent Devontae Graham is signing with the Pelicans via sign and trade, with New Orleans sending first-round pick to Charlotte. Free agent Kent Bazemore has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Lakers. That's a good signing. I don't know if there's figures on that, but if it's a decent deal, which it probably is, it's probably, I don't know if it's minimum, but probably low. I think that's a good get for them. Free agent center Dwayne Dedmon has agreed to a 1-year deal to return the Miami Heat. Well, here's more on Bazemore. Bazemore turned down more money in years, too, from the Warriors, sources say, but believes he'll have a bigger role and opportunity to win a championship with the Lakers. Bazemore is betting on himself. Free agent center Rich Juan Holmes has agreed to a 4-year deal worth as much as $55 million to return to the Sacramento Kings. Heat free agent Gabe Vincent has agreed to a 2-year, $3.5 million deal to return to Miami. Sixers are planning to waive guard George Hill. Hill had a partial guarantee on next season's contract, so he's going to become a free agent instead of signing with somebody. Free agent Rudy Gay has agreed to a deal with the Jazz, and he's signing a 2-year, $12.1 million deal with a player option. That's a good get for the Jazz. Abdul Nader has agreed to a 2-year, $4.2 million deal to return to Phoenix. Miami Heat have pulled the qualifying offer on Kendrick Nunn, making him an unrestricted free agent. So that's Shams' Twitter. Here's Wogoosh. We've got the Lonzo Ball. Free agent guard Alec Burks has agreed to a 3-year, $30 million contract to stay with the New York Knicks. Free agent center Nerlens Noel is returning to the New York Knicks on a 3-year, $32 million contract. We already covered Jared Allen. Kelly Olynyk has agreed to a 3-year, $37 million deal with the Detroit Pistons. I like Kelly Olynyk. He's rumored to go to the Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan, but he was already with the Celtics. All the rumors that were surrounding the Celtics were former players with the Celtics. It's kind of annoying. It seems like Brad Stevens wanted to get the band back together instead of like improving the team. But we'll see what happens. They haven't had any moves from them yet. And there's Mike Conley. Did we cover the numbers? 3-year, $72.5 million contract. I think we did, though. The number on Conley's contract, according to Woj, is different from Sham's, $72.5 million, according to Woj. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s 4-year deal with the Mavericks worth $74 million. If we haven't covered that. Got T.J. McConnell. Duncan Robinson has agreed to a 5-year, $90 million contract to stay with the Miami Heat. Free agent forward Torrey Craig has agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Indiana Pacers. Here's one that I have an issue with. Phoenix Suns All-Star Chris Paul has agreed to stay on a new 4-year deal that could be worth as much as $120 million. That's ridiculous numbers for Chris Paul. He's still a good player. But he's like, what? I want to say he's 36. Hold on. Chris Paul age. Yeah, 36. To give him 4 years, $120 million is ridiculous. That's a bad deal for the Suns. If we didn't get the details on the Kyle Lowry deal, it's 3 years, $90 million. Jeff Green agreed to a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Denver Nuggets, and it includes a second-year player option. Mo Harkless has agreed to a 2-year, $9 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. Furkan Korkmaz has agreed to a 3-year, $15 million deal to stay with the 76ers. Free agent Zach Collins has agreed to a 3-year, $22 million deal with the Spurs. Free agent forward Mike Muscala has agreed on a 2-year, $7 million deal to return to OKC Thunder. Free agent forward Trevor Ariza has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Gary Trent Jr. has agreed to a 3-year, $54 million deal to return to the Toronto Raptors. I feel like that's a lot for Gary Trent Jr. I don't really know much about him. That's why I'm saying that. Know about most of these people. I don't know about him. Maybe it's not. You guys can let me know, I guess. Just Dwight Howard. Free agent forward Solomon Hill has agreed to a 1-year deal to return to the Atlanta Hawks. Free agent Evan Fournier has agreed to a 4-year deal that could be worth as much as $78 million with the New York Knicks. Includes an team option for a 4th year. For the 4th year. Now, he's leaving the Celtics. I wasn't too keen on them paying him $20 million, so if that's what it was going to take, okay. I'm fine with him leaving, but kind of annoying they used the player exception on him and then let him go in free agency. Derrick Rose has agreed to a 3-year, $43 million deal to return to the New York Knicks. So I don't know how I like this, because I feel like Thibodeau is going to push him too hard. I'm kind of scared about that. Free agent guard Alex Caruso agreed to a 4-year, $37 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. So they get Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso. Daniel Tice has agreed to a 4-year, $36 million deal to join the Houston Rockets. Now he played for the Celtics, and getting $9 million a year is okay. I don't know if I would have given him that much, but it's not a terrible deal. Free agent center Cody Zeller has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. New Orleans Pelicans are landing Charlotte restricted free agent guard Devontae Graham on a 4-year, $47 million contract and a sign-and-trade deal. New Orleans will send Charlotte its 2022 lottery-protected first-round pick. Norman Powell agreed to a 5-year, $90 million deal to return to the Portland Trail Blazers. 6-time All-Star forward Blake Griffin has agreed on a 1-year deal to stay with the Brooklyn Nets. So that can't be for much. Free agent guard Max Struss is returning to the Miami Heat on a 2-year, $3.5 million deal. Free agent forward Shemi Ojeleye, he's been here for years, and I still don't know how to pronounce his name, has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Good riddance. He was only good for his defense, really. He's just taking out playing time. And Atlanta Hawks All-Star guard Trae Young agreed to a 5-year, $207 million designated rookie maximum contract. His agent Omar Wilkes of Clutch Sports tells ESPN. It's crazy the money that they're throwing around now. It's crazier in the MLB. But, I mean, the amount of money these guys make is insane. But we'll get a bigger one later. Oklahoma City Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has agreed to a 5-year, $172 million maximum rookie contract extension. I don't know much about him, but you guys can let me know if he's worth that. I don't know much about him. I probably wouldn't have given him that much, based off that at least. But even what I do know about him, didn't know he was worth that much, if he is. Free agent guard Spencer Dinwiddie is nearing a deal with the Washington Wizards. Sam Decker is returning to the NBA on a deal with the Toronto Raptors. And free agent forward Rudy Gay has agreed to a deal with the Utah Jazz. I think we covered that, though. Free agent forward Nemanja Bjelica, if I'm pronouncing that right, has agreed on a 1-year deal with the Golden State Warriors. Restricted free agent Bruce Brown Jr. is signing a 1-year qualifying offer of $4.7 million to return to the Brooklyn Nets. Free agent forward Rodney Hood has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Free agent forward James Johnson has agreed on a 1-year deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Andre Drummond agreed to a 1-year deal with the Sixers. Interesting. He gonna be second string there? Because you got Embiid. It's interesting. I think he was coming off the bench for the Lakers, but regardless, Taj Gibson has agreed on a 1-year, $2.7 million deal to return to the Knicks. I like Taj Gibson. That's a good deal. Free agent center Robin Lopez has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Orlando Magic. It's worth $5 million, according to Woj on his follow-up. Didi Louzada has agreed on a new 4-year deal with the New Orleans Pelicans. I have no idea who that is. Free agent guard Patty Mills has agreed to a 2-year, $12 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets. It's interesting. Includes a player option. And here's the big one I was talking about. 2-time MVP Steph Curry has agreed on a 4-year, $215 million contract extension with the Golden State Warriors, making him the first player in history to sign 2 career $200 million plus deals. Insane the amount of money these guys are getting. But Curry deserves it. French guard Malik Monk has agreed to a deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's one that I was sort of expecting. Free agent forward Carmelo Anthony has agreed on a 1-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't know how that's going to work. This is why I said I don't think it's going to work. You got Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. I don't know how in the world that works. And Dwight Howard. Someone please explain to me how that's going to work. Bulls are finalizing a signing trade and a deal to acquire Spurs' DeMar DeRozan. Ooh, interesting. I'm sure I'll have updates on different deals in the future, but right now that's it. Thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts on some of these deals. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Comment, share. I have another channel called The Thoughtful Outlaw where I cover Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, gaming news, etc. So if you're interested in stuff like that, check it out. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.